Hi students, I am Dr. Sapna Agarwal and we are with ATP Star, the wonderful learning platform. Okay, so आज हम जो बात करेंगे it is कि BITSAT के अंदर English Proficiency जो आपके 150 मार्क्स के अंदर क्या रोल है उसका and how we are going to do about it. Okay, तो मैं आप देखिए मेरे साथ ये आपके सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, आपको मालूम ही है आपने फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथ्स बहुत अच्छी तैयार करी है, लेकिन कई बार इंग्लिश को ऐसा लगता है कि कर लेंगे, we are going to do it, right? So what I am trying to tell you over here is yes, of course you can do it, there's a doubt about it, right? But do not underestimate it because it is of 10%. It has a value and weightage of 10%. So today what I'm trying to make you understand is what kind of questions you can get in your BITSAT exams, what kind of questions have been coming in the previous year exams. So we're just going to understand the whole thing and I'm sure you're going to feel very comfortable. You're going to just enjoy doing the English part of this BITSAT competitive exam. And I'm very sure that you're going to achieve success, you know, with your dream competition which you are targeting. So let's start. Okay, so now what we see over here is this is just one kind of question which you see over here. So if you see what kind of question is over here, single correct answer type. So it means that let's read the question and let us start understanding how it happens. So out of the four alternatives, choose the one which expresses the right meaning of the word. So the word is augment. Okay, so where have you seen the word augment? Where have you heard the word augment? I'm sure some of you are, those of you have been reading your sciences very carefully, you've also heard about augmented reality. Well, yes, of course. So, you know, it's very interesting. Let's identify here what could be one of the meaning of this answer. So, the solution is A. That means augment means make bigger, and increase is the correct answer. Now what we are trying to understand over here in this single correct answer type questions in your exam, see now before I move ahead to the next question and before I tell you, it's very important to save your time. See, if there are 15 questions, you really don't need to spend 15 minutes for the entire. You know, sometimes people plan that, you know, we have to spend 1 minute per question. You can save your time with some questions and you are going to spend more time in some areas. Like in further, as we move ahead, I'm going to talk about comprehensions. Right, so comprehension is something which we have to read. So I'm just going to tell you about it. Let's start moving and let's start understanding one more question of this kind and you're going to enjoy it. Out of the four alternatives, choose the one again which has a right meaning. Now consolation. So there are four choices given, right? Now out of these four choices, one is correct. Now try to think, where have you heard the word consolation? You know, consolation, have you heard about a consolation prize? Yeah, so the person who does not win first, second or third prize gets to win a consolation prize. So I am sure you're going to understand. Now by doing this second question, have you got the grip of this, that what is going to happen? Your vocabulary has to be strong. These questions are vocabulary based questions and we are doing questions which are synonyms, which have the right answers, you know, which have the meaning to it, right? Okay, let's see the answer, and the answer which you see over here is comfort. Okay, so consolation means giving comfort to somebody, just satisfying or pacifying somebody. Okay, now let's move ahead and let us see the. Okay, now this is a very interesting question. This word in itself has a lot of meaning to it. Again, so what is the meaning of auxiliary? What is the right option of auxiliary? Any idea? Auxiliary, have you heard this word? I am sure you have heard about it. We are not going to waste time on it. It means providing additional help. Now, since we are talking about vocabulary, let me give you an idea. In your notebooks, in your books, sometimes you see the word called as appendix. Right, so appendix means anything extra has been appendixed over there. If you want to refer, you have to go over there. So again, the word appendix can also be a synonym to auxiliary. So there are a lot of things which we have to remember. Vocabulary is one of the most important thing, right? One of the most. Your right answers, your most suitable answers, they all fall under this category. And let me tell you, the questions which I have chosen here, they are from one of the BITSAT paper which happened in the previous years, right? So these questions aren't from anywhere. These questions are from the competitive exam itself. Now here we get, what do we get from vocabulary? We get the word opposite. That is the antonyms. Now here there's a word called auspicious. Okay. Now you've heard the word auspicious. Where do you hear the word auspicious? That is when the festival is there, when a function is there, when there's some kind of an event happening at your home or any other place, you use the word. So let's understand what is the opposite. Okay, so the word opposite could be, the solution is unfavorable, opposite. Right. So now here when we understand, we have to be very careful. It means favorable. So unfavorable is the word. Okay, let me erase all the ink from the board because it, okay now. So now, by my fourth question, most of you have understood that vocabulary plays a major role. I assure you students, when you are with Sapna ma'am, you're going to rock your exam, right? I personally believe that, English, people call it a funny language, people call it a tough language, people call it the easiest language. But I've always said when it's a language, we need to understand it. It could be a coding language, it could be a Python, Java, it could be English. So when there is a language, you really need to pay attention to it. And you need to remember those important keywords. When I move to comprehension, you're just going to understand all these words. Now, one more question. Now, there's a word called as recompense. Right. Now, here again, we have to identify the opposite meaning. Right. Identify this word opposite. That is the antonym which we are talking about. Now, any guesses? What could be the right answer? That is the penalty. Why? Because recompense means payment. When you pay something to somebody, you purchase a thing and you recompense, right? You compensate. Try to understand from where this word has come. Compensate, so recompense, okay? So that is why the opposite could be penalty, and we are going to understand it. Now very quickly, as I'm moving cross paths along these words, see, you have to understand and you have to start enjoying it. Let's do one more opposite word, okay? In case you wish, it's perfectly fine. Attempt it all by yourself. I'm here to help you out with the solutions and the answers. What is the word? Again, you have to choose the opposite word. That the word is impede, okay? Now, what is the word? What does the word impede mean? Because unless you know the meaning of the word, how would you know the opposite of it? It's so simple, right? So we need to understand the meaning of the word. Impede means to hinder. Impede means to stop. Impede means to obstruct, right? There's a wall in between. It hinders your view, right? So this word is to be understood. Obstruction. There's a speed breaker to obstruct the speed, right? So all these words, they come from somewhere, from the real world. What could be the opposite of it? Okay, so there's a word over here, push. Now push means to push, accelerate. Okay, I know accelerate, you've also studied this word in physics, right? Does not matter. All the sciences, they have a lot of English. So somebody who is proficient in English can attempt all the things. I know, but with this statement of mine, you've understood why BITSAT or why some good competitive exams, they explore English proficiency or language proficiency with the children, with the students, for the simple reason, do you have an understanding? Can you comprehend things? And that is where the importance of comprehension also comes. Well, I'm just going to talk about it in detail. Now over here, I've changed the pattern of the question for all of us to understand. Now here, let us read the question. A part of the sentence is underlined, right? But we have to, whenever the word is underlined, we still have to read the complete sentence. Now, do not make a mistake to just read this word, because there could be a reference to the context to the entire sentence. So when they were isolated words, they were isolated words. In previously we have just seen, no, they were isolated words, right? So we like here, there's an isolated word. So you don't see a sentence. But when there is a sentence, you have to read a complete sentence. Now, and there are part A, B, C, D, which may improve the sentence. Oh, there's an error over here, which may improve the sentence. So let us try to find out. They requested me to follow them. Okay, now what do you say? Who can be they? Try to understand. Now, request could be urged, please, you have to follow them. You could be asked. But over here, what I understand is there's a command. Somebody is trying to instruct. Somebody is telling that you have to follow them. Let's see the answer. Okay, so the answer over here is, yeah, there's a sense of command, and that is why the correct answer could be ordered. You have to understand what is the implication of the sentence, right? So they also come under sort of spotting the error or improving the sentence, right? Even if you have to find out the right meaning, you have to read the correct sentence. Do not forget when these kind of questions come. Let us move a little ahead. One more practice question. Again, a part of the sentence is underlined, A, B, C, D. There are 4 parts over here, right, which may improve. Okay, now, she did not believe me. Oh my God, it sounds so awkward. Yeah, when it starts ringing in your ears. So when there's something wrong, it starts ringing. So here she did not believe me. I'm sure by now you've identified the right answer, right? So what could be the right answer? Any guesses? Come on, before I answer, you put it in the comment box for all of us. Yes. So the sentence is in past tense, and when a sentence is in past tense, now what happens? Which contains did, right? She did not. You cannot use two past tenses together in one sentence. So she did not believe me. So you cannot use two past tenses together. It means, do we have to understand the entire parts of the speech and tenses? Yes, if you can, why not? Well, in an elaborate course, we are definitely going to deal with one by one every grammatical part of it. Those who wish to it, definitely I'm over there. But now when we are doing a course, when we have to put everything in nutshell, I would not recommend you to go and start hunting in your book, start finding something and start getting into grammar. Don't worry, there's a lot of common sense which prevails, and your good sense which you have been studying all these years is going to definitely help you out, and of course I'm over here to help you. Right. Now again, let's practice one more. Now this is a question mark, yeah? This is a question which is asking. Okay, I'm fine. What about you? Okay, does it require an improvement? So there is an option A, B, C, D. So not necessarily we have to identify and correct a sentence. In case there is no improvement, you can always choose there is a no improvement over here. Right, it's a simple sentence. So all what we have to understand over here is that there is a sentence, there are words which we are trying to identify, there are underlined words which we are going to identify, we are improving, either we are giving a synonym or we are giving an antonym. Okay, very quickly, let's move to something called as sentence completion. Oh my God. Now this is something which is exactly spotting the error, which also talks about, again, prepositions, conjunctions. You know, a lot of grammar and a lot of parts of speech can come over here. I'm sure some of you are getting worried. Ma'am, just now, Sapna ma'am, you just said that you don't have to study the grammar, but now what is this coming over here? Well, let's wait and see. Okay, now let's start reading. So let's complete the sentence. They were afraid, dash the lion. So they dropped the idea of hunting in the jungle. Now let's start. Pick and choose. We are not going to go to the solution. So simple. They were afraid in the lion, cannot be. They were afraid to the lion, not possible. They were afraid from the lion, possible. But they were afraid of the lion, sounds better. Right. Okay, now sounds better. So now here, it's simple. It agrees with preposition. There's an agreement. Now from, it isn't something like my pet. It isn't my pet who I've been taming. So, you know, the lion in the jungle is a wild animal. So, nobody has tamed it. So, why should I be taking something from, right? So, it's a simple agreement over here. And that is why the option of is correct over here. Now, let us move a little ahead. One more example of sentence completion, and that's it. And then we are going to talk more about little comprehensions. We can keep doing a lot of examples. I have a lot of examples for all of you. Okay, so our company signed, very good sentence, very important, very interesting sentence. Our company signed a profitable dash last month. 4 options with you: issue, agenda, deal, paper. Now you understand what is an issue, where there could be a tiff between two parties. Agenda means a planning. What is the flow of the event? Why we are here together? What are we going to do in this meeting together? That could be an agenda, right? You don't sign a profitable paper last month. So what is the so you know, you can eliminate answers and you have to choose the right answer. So the right answer over here is again deal. So you know, company signs a contract or a deal. So that's very simple. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's very, very simple. It's very, very interesting. A lot of common sense prevails. Would you like to do one more? I have a lot of them. Okay, now this is very interesting. I'm also asking you. Tell me, what's your dash for tonight? Immediately the answer was over there. What should I ask you? What's your plan for tonight? I'm not going to ask you your motto for tonight. I'm not going to ask you your principle for tonight. And definitely, I'm not going to ask you your objective. So the correct answer is plan. These kind of sentences in routine, if you've been using, if you've been reading a lot of things, it helps you out instantaneously. And you're going to get your answers instantaneously correct. Right? So they are very helpful. They save a lot of time because vocabulary, sometimes you have to scratch yourself. Antonyms, synonyms, what is the right answer? I do not know the word. I don't know the meaning. How do I know the opposite? And there's no sentence associated with it. So, you know, sometimes there can be a trouble with those kind of questions, but with these kind of questions, you save a lot of time. Well, now this is another pattern which comes in your BITSAT. Now this is Oh, you've heard about it. Yes, they are PQRS. That is the sentence sequence. There's a jumbled sentence over here. Now they have a lot of variety. I have chosen one of the most difficult variety which is over there. But I'm going to share okay, so now let us just observe this. Now they are following sentence and you have to make a correct combination. So over here there is a sentence which begins. It's a prelude kind of a thing to this entire PQRS. And there is C something over here. I could have even marked it 6 over here as perfectly fine, and it completes or concludes it. And then there are 4 options, A, B, C, D. All what we have to do is we have to read, and by the time we complete PQRS sequencing, we also have to remember that the sentence should get completed with this. So when I am speaking this, some of you have started reading. Well, that's a very good idea. The moment you see something that you have to read, your eyes should start reading. My suggestion for these PQRS sentences is you must read twice. Right, by the time you read the second time, you start understanding and you start taking the sequence. Okay, so now let me read with all of you this one example. Today we live in modern technology era. Okay, now there are 4 sentences over here. How does it get completed? Perhaps greed is the main cause for this. Now we have 4 sentences. We have a lot of problems now. Cannot start. We want to get everything in one day. Could be. Ancient time was quite pleasant. We had no problems then. Okay. So now today we live in modern technology era. Don't you think there could be, does Q fit over there? No, the word Q doesn't fit over there because we want to get everything. It's like something abruptly you are starting. So you cannot begin something abruptly even if it sounds really, really nice to you. You cannot begin it. Okay, so now meanwhile for the rest of you, those who are still seeing these answers, I'm opening it. Okay, the correct sequence over here is B according to this flow of events over here. Now let us do. Right, for the rest of us, do it with me. Come along with me and do it. Okay, now over here. Today we live in the modern technology era. We have a lot of problems now. So it syncs, right? It is connected. Okay. After that, what happens now? Ancient time was quite pleasant. Then we had no problems then. And the last one is we want to get everything in one day. Perhaps greed is the main cause for this. Are you getting it? Are you understanding it? Right. What happens? There's a storyline. There's a thought process. So in these kind of sentences, mostly there is a thought process which is happening, right? You just have to get in sync immediately with the thought process, right? Another suggestion to attempt these kind of questions is, now what you see over here is, right, in this you have, A and B, they both begin with P, right? So what you can do is immediately after reading the first sentence, you can just try out, if you are finding it difficult, you can just very quickly try out what could be the first one. Then I can make the jumbled sequence correct. So you can pick and choose from the choice and also try out. It might take a little longer time. So we've already saved time in vocabulary so that we can spend some time in this, which is going to cost time. Ideally, when we have a combination of PQRS, out of these 15 questions, there should not be a comprehension. But if it is, oh my God, you have to really, really save your time. And you have to be very fast with your previous questions of the vocabulary part and correction of the sentence or completing the sentence. You really, really have to be very fast. Okay, now I'm not going to do another one with you, right? I'm just trying to move a little skip pass ahead and just trying to show you that there is an arrangement over here. Okay, now I'm going to talk about comprehension. And then I'm going to share another video with you, details of comprehension. And it is going to be, I'm going to tell you something which probably nobody has ever heard, and even on the technological platform, people haven't heard about comprehension. It is with my own experience. It is through students, those who have been attempting in various competitive exams, they come and share and tell, how to attempt. And it has also been on people, those who have attempted, selected, got through, and they come and share their ideas. So aspirants, my own experience, and the selected ones, everything in combination put together. Now, what is comprehension? I have just promised you that in my next video, I'm going to tell you complete details of comprehension. So, we unlock comprehensions. What is comprehension? Something which you understand, which you are able to comprehend, which you are able to simply understand, right? Okay. Now, what is comprehension? Comprehension is a passage which can have many paragraphs. So, why comprehension? To check your reading ability, how fast you can read. But does it help the competition? No, it does not. how to identify the questions and be able to answer them correctly. That is how it gets completed. There are a variety of comprehensions which come in the competitive exams, right? So in my today's video, I'm just going to tell you the variety of the comprehension. See, you can get comprehensions with a storyline behind them, you know, that they can have an anecdote or a story. There can be comprehensive passages which come from an economics background or which have a lot of statistical data, or even from sciences, even from edtech platforms, new things. Now the pandemic is going on, so you know there can be so many datas which can come over there. So when there are datas, you have to be careful. There's a technique to solve them. Okay, then there could be passages from your geographical evidences or from geographical areas, right? There could be passages which have historical evidences, right? There could be passages from science itself. So there can be a variety of passages, right? It's a good idea to be an avid reader, but if you are not, don't try to be one right now. After attempting your exam, you have a good time. Develop a habit of reading something every year, at least 20 books in a year. So you want to ask me a question, do I read books? I definitely read a lot of books. And sometimes we are going to exchange what is my favorite book, why do I like to read it, how does it help me later. I don't only read management or inspiring books, I read a lot of novels as well. So you know, you can just pick and choose and it helps you enhance your fast reading. Well, let me say, I'm sure it must have helped you. So let me say a bye-bye from Dr. Sapna Agarwal ma'am. Well, I'll be there to help you out with to crack your BITSAT exam and not let these 15 questions, the proficiency in English, I mean, just sway you from here and there. I'll be definitely helping you out, and I have a lot of ideas, a lot of simplified techniques in English, right? And so with this, let us say a bye-bye to each other. See you again very soon. Whatever your questions are, if you want me to be bilingual, you can definitely put in the comment box. I will. Right? Trust me, my both languages are good. And in case you are comfortable with my language, let me know so that you know I can help you better. So with this, bye-bye for today from Dr. Sapna Agarwal ma'am. See you again later.